Hey you guys, quick stop. My name is Selena Cordoba L and I have a business called Cordoba Organics. I'm sorry if you hear my son screaming, he's gaming. He's playing his games right now and he gets mad, excited and hyped, and it actually makes me really happy because again, if your children are stimulating themselves and they're homeschooled, you want them to have fun and have a life outside of what it is you set up for them. And Amor loves gaming, but not only does he love it, he's just good at it. So even though it wasn't something that I saw fit or I thought he'd be doing, he enjoys it. And to have that little, break between his reading or between his math problems, I'm really grateful to hear him that excited. Okay, camera B, products. What is difficult for me is to talk about products or to do what I think is kind of redundant. So you guys saw one the other day and I was talking about, the body products and the hair products. That's what I need to do like every day. I don't know why I think doing something once a month or once a week is enough. It's not. It's just very challenging for someone like myself that's gotten comfortable behind the camera to then be like, okay, let me stop what I'm doing to share more. This is not hard for me. To make products and to get them out in 1 to 3 days isn't really difficult anymore. What I'm finding to be a balance is to stop what I'm doing, to share, to talk about this more than just once a week. That is my challenge. So literally today starts the retrograde. I think it's the 14th, January 14th. And I thought of it. I was like, you know what? During this retrograde, challenge yourself to do things that you aren't used to anymore. For example, I cook every day, but I've gotten used to doing things off the camera so much, I'm not thinking people want to learn how to make vegan apple muffins or, make tofu that's going to taste like fried chicken. I never think that because there's such a saturation of everything now. I just kind of learned to stay to myself so that I could be honest with the things that I needed to manifest in my life. So, for example, this was just the last 2 days, right? But again, to find a little time right before I throw these into envelopes, stop what you're doing, Selena, and explain again, even if you feel like you did this before, even if you feel like you're being redundant, explain, share, talk about the products, because this is the only way that you're going to consistently attract and put yourself out there and challenge yourself to do things that you're not used to. So I'm used to getting products out in 1 to 3 days. I'm used to ordering the bottles, ordering the labels, making everything at night, making sure all my gel bases have the correct infusions in them, making sure that no ingredient is skipped. Like I'm a real stickler for ingredients. So that's been a focus of mine, is to consistently do that. And to do that well, you've sometimes got to be honest with yourself and say, okay, right after I make dinner, cut up all your rosemary, all your marjoram, all your hawthorn, and soak. So because I've gotten into that type of routine, this is actually more challenging for me to stop what I'm doing and to talk about it again. So I'm gonna do it more because I really, really love y'all, and there's no way that I can show my gratitude unless you guys see my face and hear me more. So, all right, what I did last night was the Pisces, the Aquarius, lemonade. Let me go through them. The Pisces is dope. It's got clary sage in it. It's also got a lot of mandarin in it. It's really great for people that need a little bit of emotional balance. Of course, Pisces, very intuitive, a lot of emotional and I would say mind energy. Like a lot of stuff comes through the emotional body, which is of course the solar plexus, but Pisces are also very stimulating mentally because they are attracting and sensing all this different energy. So the Pisces is excellent. It's got over 14 different healing butters as well as essential oils, 4 essential oils. Really, really dope. It's got a little bit of a light pink color because of the, look at me, because of the cataphragm. Like, girl, you don't need to go and talk. But yes, really, really dope. The J Jam, also really great because it's made with orris root. A lot of people sleep on orris root for the hair. But again, you gotta be careful with herbs because if you don't know everybody's personal stuff, An herb can cause bloating. It can cause for thyroid irregularities. Sometimes people have some issues that they're not aware of until they start taking herbs and it brings it out to the surface. So orris root is dope. You just don't want to put it topically like on your face too much because it can cause like boils, like little breakouts. It hasn't with me, and I have real sensitive skin. This is kind of how I also test stuff, but also to be humble in knowing that, well, you might not have the thyroid or the kidney issues that other people might, and being aware of that. You don't want to make anything that's going to throw people off. So the Orris Root J Jam Conditioner, these are really inexpensive, like 20 bone. Basically, they're really saturating. They've got some soaking oils, a lot of herbs, and they'll stimulate hair growth and really detangle all of like the parts of your hair that you want to keep a little bit manageable. So the J Jam is excellent. Then you've got the strawberry. The strawberry and the blueberry, if I were to go into it real quick, the reason why these are really dope, they're made with black currant butter as well as bilberry. Bilberry and black currant are great for lightening, dark spots, hyperpigmentation, really, really amazing for smoothing, balancing. So the fruit jams as well, like the strawberry, the blueberry, and the peach, all made with real peach essence, real strawberry essence, no perfume, no fragrances, because they itch my skin, but make my skin a little itchy. Even though I like all those flowery type of thoughts, I said this isn't working for my skin. So again, the blueberry and the strawberry, really dope for that. The coffee bomb. Coffee bomb is a long-term favorite of ours, as well as the pit stops. The pit stop is dope. It's made with Monoi. It's really smooth. Like sometimes when you use a baking soda or a crystal deodorant, it's bumpy. You break out. It causes itching. It feel a little hot under your arms. I'm allergic to baking soda that's not really refined, as well as, you know, just like arrowroot and stuff. So I decided to make one that was going to be so smooth and velveteen, but still thick, that it didn't like sweat out after a couple of hours. So this is great, and it really, really works. Amor has a stronger body odor. Of course, he's 13, he's a man, little man, but I noticed after swim class and stuff, even coming out the water, put this on before, he's coming out smelling fresher than a baby's bottom. So I really like the pit stops. It's excellent. It's got like 14 healing butters, 6 different essential oils. Really works though. Coffee bomb, same thing. Horsetail, jojoba, macadamia, argan, avocado. The butters that are in this, as well as the Ethiopian coffee. Let me tell you, I've used a lot of different coffee products, and I don't like the grainy feel unless, of course, you're exfoliating, but that still can be too harsh. You don't want to use fresh coffee grounds on your skin unless there's a carrier oil or something else to make it a little soft, because it'll rip up your skin if you have sensitive skin. So the coffee bomb is really, really dope. Along with the coffee bomb, you have the Victory Rose, the Pineapple Tumeric Alchemy Salve, and the lemonade. The lemonade is amazing. Really great for hyperpigmentation along with the coffee bomb. Then, okay, there's a couple products I made for people with stretch marks, tiger, like I call it the tiger stripes because we got to celebrate stuff like that. But stretch marks, the coffee bomb, the Virgo, the tiger stripes, the amount of caffeine in it is so good. Very good for tightening the pores, great for healing, like stretch marks, stuff like that. So you want to be able to be honest with yourself and say, okay, my skin might need a little bit extra, especially after breastfeeding. I started using the tiger stripes. It's got a little less coffee in it, some cardamom, really great for just boosting stimulation and circulation around your lymph glands and your nodes. The lemonade, great cellular repair. Like we talk about cells and how they repair themselves, but truly, you can, every 15, 20 days, your cells will shed. You can have fresh cells again, but you've got to sometimes use things that help that process. The Sun Kiss comes in both oil as well as a salve. The oil's dope. It's a little thicker. It'll stay on just as long as the salve, but I wanted to make something just in case you're jumping out of the pool or you're jumping out of the shower and you just want something to give your skin a little glow, as well as some beta carotene protection, some sun protection. A lot of people don't talk about how we really do need a little natural SPF, and that along with the 18 different oils, there is a little less than 20, but how do I know all these things in my mind? I memorize all of my recipes. So when I'm starting stuff, I know, okay, in front of me are these 18 different or these 10 different oils. How am I gonna flip them? So I'm able to see stuff and just start to gauge based on when I see a label or when I know the product. Okay, Sun-Kissed oil, it's gonna be these 12. So I take those 12 oils, I make one big vat of what is needed for vetiver, vetiver bay, Sun-Kissed, the hibiscus hair oil. There's certain base oils that I use for about 4 or 5 of the products. So it's easy for me because I make a big master one, and I'm able to kind of use that during the day. So the Sun-Kissed oil is really, really dope. Great barrier for UV protection. Dew. The dew is amazing. I didn't think that people were gonna click on to the name as much, but I've seen so many dews out there. And Daily Enriching Witch Hazel. I wanted a non-alcoholic witch hazel that was really soaked in not only carrier oils, but as well, it's like using certain products out of, I used to go to Ricky's a lot in New York and just study certain products. And there was I don't even want to think, because, you know, I don't know if people feel flagged, but Thyers used to have a really good, but it was too strong and it was alcoholic and it wasn't the greatest. But I like the fact that they would have little lavender in it. They would have different infusions. So I was thinking, wow, how can I make my own witch hazel that not only has calendula, the roses in it, but you know, a lot of people use different types of dried rose. You can't use roses that have been dried out too long, but that aren't organic, because a lot of debris can come off of dry roses. So you don't want to be using anything that has a little bit like dirt flecks in it. I'm just kind of anal retentive about that. But the dew, it's not only got the calendula, the fresh calendula and flowers and pod, as well as the non-alcoholic witch hazel. It also has aloe vera in it, and my aloe plants are right in front of me. Aloe is difficult, but I just tackle it once a week because it's totally difficult. It's totally different using the fresh inner fillet than using something in a bottle. It just is. It doesn't have, there's like 2 different preservatives that kind of change the viscosity or the consistency of stuff when you're throwing like different oils in it. So I noticed fresh aloe doesn't do that. I don't know if it's because it's extremely gel-like and it's more bulbous, but really works. The dew, excellent for larger pores. After you wash your face, you want to seal up a little bit, but you also want to have something kind of moisturized. And again, oils and water don't mix, but if you are ingesting enough water and you are using topical oils for your skin, they will moisturize and hydrate your skin because you're hydrated from within. Okay, so the gel toner, the pineapple gel toner is different than the serum. The serum is an oil base. The gel toner is just that, the aloe vera gel soaked in the turmeric. And again, I can come a little closer. The turmeric, I want to make sure is not grainy, so that when you're putting it on your face, you're not actually exfoliating your skin with all that. For example, this is the Tumeric Wash. So you have the Tumeric Wash, the turmeric gel, and the turmeric oil, the turmeric serum. They all do something different. The gel toner is great for after you wash your face, especially if you're puberty, breakout, hormones, right before your period. Great to use like the week before because it balances out all those hormonal good stuff. But trust me, I still use it every week before my period. It's the same thing with the anise toner. I really wanted to figure out a way to gel base anise, and it's kind of difficult. It's the same thing with like flaxseed. But long story short, the grapefruit gel toner, what worked with this was making my own quinine. So literally boiling grapefruit, lemon peel, lime peel, and I do use lime in it, even though, yeah, the lime peel is amazing. It adds a little sweet element, doesn't make it so acidic. But the anise gel toner is dope because anise is really good for, again, stimulating those healthy skin cells, but also it's like a lipid. You know, this AHA, BHA obsession, it's literally because we're trying to think of ways to create a little barrier so that if you throw something on, it's almost like it rolls off your skin. It's like a lipid that rolls off your skin. It also allows some collagen production. We need, especially if we're getting a little older, it's great to have a couple of products that stimulate healthy collagen production. So the Hair Magic, amazing. The Hair Magic along with the musical hairs. Let me just grab these two out. The Hair Magic along with the musical hairs is really great. A little bit, the musical hair is a little bit thinner because of all the pump. Longer story short, the thyme, the bay leaf, the cumin, the flax, the rosemary in this is amazing. And I wanted to also have it stimulate dead skin, dead hair, follicles, breaks, hair breaks. Sometimes when you're taking out your braids, and I notice this with the Moor, I have to trim his ends because if he leaves his braids in for 2 weeks, swimming pool, they'll literally start to lock up. And it'll change, it'll get a little dry at the end. So I try to think of something when I'm braiding his hair to seal in the ends, and also that won't cause so much breakage when I'm taking his hair out. Musical hairs and Hair Magic is great for that. It also really stimulates, and it's like a styling cream. Kind of like when you want to set your hair and have it stay but still be lustrous and really healthy. I actually like the musical hairs in the middle back of my head because it absorbs a little different than the rosemary, more infused rosemary, which I put on more of the shaft of my hair as well as like the front curls. I like smelling different too. The musical hairs has got more a mandarin, like a mandarin orange essence, and the Hair Magic is a little bit more medicinal. I would say it smells truly like peppermint, like a peppermint kiss patty with a little bit of rosemary, and it does have some like lime and some mandarin in it to brighten it up. But honestly, I wanted to make something that was really, again, black seed oil, flaxseed, rosemary appropriate. And with neem and all those oils, you're gonna have a smokier scent. You just are. So instead of trying to hide that, I brought it out and said, look, I like the fact that my hair always sometimes doesn't smell like, fruit roll-ups. It has like a earthy herbal, peppermint, deep bergamotish smell, and I love it. But you want to make stuff that's a variety for people that might not want that. Musical hairs is wonderful. Okay, then face along with Victory Rose. I picked these both up because Victory Rose is what motivated me to make face. Victory Rose is one of the first time jump offs, first 7-8 years. Amazing. The calendula in here, let me tell you, sometimes I literally spend $300 on the ingredients that might produce 1 or 2 products. But the calendula oil, the calendula is very expensive when it's infused correctly. But the calendula in here, along with it's so good, Victory Rose. And then face is every butter that's made with the Victory Rose without the essential oils. So you have the Hungarian rose oil in here. I didn't want to have that in face. I thought about babies that might have essential oil breakouts or that literally just wanted to seal themselves from head to toe using the privates, but that had any essential oils. Some people do look for essential oil-free products. So face is like that nighttime cold cream that you want to use on your face to wake up with like the ultimate smooth, refined skin. It's incredible. I do use it on a lot, but I use this on my body as well sometimes when I just want something under my boobs or around my nipples. It's just a nice feeling. Okay, Halt is incredible. If anybody has used the Mosquito Repellent, Halt is really great because it's made with not only all those carrier butters that I talked about, or the base butters, but it's made with so much cedarwood and citronella and cinnamon and fresh cinnamon, and there's a little bit of nutmeg. People sleep on nutmeg with mosquitoes. It's got lemongrass. It's got over 9 essential oils and 12 carrier butters, plus the argan oil that's in it. It is so amazing, and it works like crazy. It is the best. If you are on the water, traveling, gnats in your crib, just little biting flies, all them things that create little polyps you scratching. Halt will eliminate it. It's got the herbs in it is amazing as well. It's got, of course, some thyme in it. It's got some rosemary in it, but it smells so crisp and light and fresh. And the cedarwood and citronella, I wanted to make something that was like a healthy version of what you can buy in stores and spray without all the methyls and all the toxins that really aren't good. So that's Halt. The Aquarius body butter, it has a lot of Hungarian rose oil in it as well. And the carrier oils and the essential oils in this are ridiculous. It's just so smooth and silky and amazing. If anybody's tried the Aquarius, you know why you like it. I'm like, you know why you like it. It's just one of those butters like the Leo butter or the Libra body butter that you can't quite explain. And you know, I wanted to make some of my stuff like that, where even after you read the ingredients, you're like, this is made with that and this, and like you're smelling it and try. And this is what I mean with being honest with your ingredients, but the way in which you prepare stuff and how you bring it together. Nobody's going to be able to match that type of smell. I've smelled vetiver products before, but they don't smell like the vetiver products that I've made, only because I studied vetiver enough to know that it needs something lighter to cut it. So not only using the lime, but there's 3 different oils in it that cuts all of that. So, you know, you play around, and I want people to have faith in what it is they are playing around with, or, you know, are experimenting in. This is remember I was talking about the Tepes Cohuite gels wash, really great. This, I can bring it a little closer. It's dope because it's got the herbs in it, really great for smoothing, like smoothing ingrown hairs and uprooting them so that they can get out of that part of your skin and you can start to loofah and have no skin color issues when it comes to like your private parts. So the hibiscus, I always call it hibby. The hibiscus hair oil is also really dope. I'm actually about to come out with something new. Anyway, Spearmint Thyme. The Spearmint Thyme series is amazing. You've already felt and smelt why it's like, oh my God, this, and again, not just spearmint, but the wintergreen along with the peppermint along. There's a couple different essential oils, and then what makes it green is really just the infusing of this spearmint. For how long though? Because I wanted it to have a green color with no food coloring, with no micas. And I'm not dissing people that use formicas. Formicas are coloring agents. It's just they change the pH factor of your product, and they are a little bit toxic because it's chemical based. It's still a chemical agent. It's still a color with glitter to make it look pretty, but it has different results in your skin. So, okay, so we went through the pineapple face wash and why that's really good. Oh, this is a spearmint oil. So you have the spearmint shampoo, the spearmint serum, as well as the spearmint pomade. Excellent. A lot different than the Hair Magic, because the Hair Magic has no spearmint, no wintergreen oils in it, but the thyme along with the nettle, excuse me, I was trying to think of the N word. The thyme, and it wasn't neem. The thyme along with the nettle, so good. Hi, honey,
hey,
for stimulating your, thank you, sweetheart, for stimulating your hair and your follicles. Vaselina, what's in this corner? Vaselina, strawberry, the banana face alchemy. Okay, Vaselina, so dope. The thickness and the way this works on diaper rash, broken skin, burns, amazing. Same thing with the Tepes butter, amazing for burns. But the Vaselina, over 18 different oils and butters. And yes, it took me a long time to get the consistency, but once I did, I was off and running, because that taught me how to have things almost be like those salves without beeswax, because there was a couple salves back in the day that came in these little circle jars, like silver circle tins. And they were great because they were thick, but the beeswax kind of made it a little chalky on my skin. So I was thinking, this is how I was inspired to make this. How can I make a salve without beeswax that I can use in my hair for all, like, sometimes I want my hair to not have like a frizzy look, and I want it to like kind of look like sealed, I'll use this on top of my lock and then put a little scarf on because it'll seal all my flyaways. Really, really dope. Okay, we went through the Pisces, we did the coffee, the banana face Alchemy. It's infused with real banana, the banana peel and all, because the healing is so in the peel of the banana, and you would never think that rubbing a banana peel on your skin, but that's how I was in Panama and I ran out of moisturizer. There wasn't any oils or moisturizer, so I just peeled the banana, I used the banana peel, I rubbed it on my skin, rub, and it worked wonders. And that's when I was like, oh, I gotta make my own strawberry. So I had more faith in the unknown and kind of doing stuff a little bit opposite with what most would do. And that's when I started saying, okay, no, if you can use the fruit, then you should be able to infuse the peel. And it worked for me. I couldn't use a regular infusing machine. And this is why it's so good to sometimes, out of necessity, make your own, because you're able to distill if you understand time, heat, and heat. And I did. So I'm very grateful that I understood that distillation process for myself and figured out how to make banana face Alchemy as well as the banana serum. The banana face oil is incredible. I could actually, matter of fact, I could run to my refrigerator. You see all this? This is just the banana. This is just the banana face oil. I keep my banana face oil in the refrigerator just so that it doesn't spoil. You don't have to when you purchase it, but when it goes through a certain process, I'm so grateful to have learned, okay, after you heat it, throwing it in the cold, what it does to condense and to like bring all the ingredients together is so magical. But I would have never discovered that if I didn't throw what I made into the fridge to just switch the hot and the cold. So I wanted to almost like give it an ice bath. The same way you would potatoes after you boil them and you don't want them to overcook. You throw them in cold water. Same thing with the bananas. Figuring out to use the cold with the hot created a different thickness. And it's so amazing, that banana oil. Sometimes I'm just so grateful that I, took time to make things. Not everything can be rushed and done overnight or copied or whatever. It literally is having a conversation with fruit, with herbs, with everything, and saying, okay, this is the way you work. Word, if you do this, that, and the third, then let me see if I marry you with this, and if I put you with a little of that, how will it work? That's kind of how I discovered stuff. It's the same thing with this Aqua. Aqua is apple cider vinegar shampoo. Amazing. What do I love about this? It doesn't smell like apple cider at all, and it's got a lot in it. And the conditioning oils in here. Somebody wrote me the other day, and I'm going to also try to share all of the testimonials, but I want to be honest with that and saying I have to ask people. Because sometimes when people write you, you're like, hey, can I share this? Maybe they don't want their testimonials shared on Instagram. So I've asked and things, and then also just said, you know what? I might hurt someone's feelings in sharing what they wrote to me, but if that inspires someone to know, oh, it works like this, then you have to jump and know that you might not make everybody happy at times. But the apple cider vinegar aloe argan shampoo is incredible. It's aloe, argan, and herbs. I even forgot what the damn acronym was. It's apple cider vinegar, aloe, argan, herbs, and that's how I came up with Aqua. But it was really because I wanted everybody to know that it had herbs in it, it had aloe in it, and sometimes that's too long, so I just abbreviated it. But I learned from that. This was made like 8-9 years ago, and I learned, okay, abbreviations are good, but people sometimes will steal your abbreviation, and you just you jump and you learn. Like Foy is Fountain of Youth. A lot of products are called Fountain of Youth, but I didn't think that would work across obviously it does work. And that doesn't annoy me, it's just to say I've learned. So instead of creating acronyms, I'm trying to think of different ways to express or to communicate with you guys what a product might have in it, but also not diminish the flyness in it. So, okay, Aqua, really, really dope. So I went through all of these. I still have like an hour to get these in envelopes before the mailman comes and picks up. And that's what I'm grateful for, is to have a schedule, a discipline, but in knowing I gotta break that if I want anything more, if I want a different experience. You're gonna have to stop your routine just to split up what you're doing so that you don't just drown in your kitchen. Like, let me see if they right here. Like, I made these yesterday. I'm not a baker, I'm switching up. I finished all this, you guys. These are my apples. I made some dope ass apple. You see my little, I made some vegan apple muffins. I had all these apples left over. I didn't want them to go to waste. I didn't want to juice them all. Cut up 2 cups of apples. And I made some great, I need to take off my glove. I made some great vegan apple muffins. These are the things I'd actually rather share with y'all. They're so moist and so delicious. And the moistness, a lot of people don't know. Applesauce is great to bake with, but if you get apple butter, a little thicker, maybe a little apple cider vinegar, it'll hold. I'm at hungry, and this is time. I'm like, you gotta eat. You gotta make lunch for your kid. You got, of course, all of that, but I'm trying to challenge myself in sharing what I do with you guys every day with y'all. Some days I have so many products and it's like, oh my God, this would have been so dope to throw on camera, but then I'm fighting, you know, the time. I want to get them out. I want to get them out on time. Even if, oh, I should eat it on camera. So many people gonna have a problem with what you do and how you choose to do it. That's okay. You just have to remember that they're probably usually watching you do something that they forgot that they could do or upset that you're doing. And none of that has anything to do with you. Sometimes I do yoga in the morning and I always want to jump on and show y'all what I'm thinking, but then I'm like, oh, I have on a yoga outfit. Someone's gonna complain about my yoga bikini pants. And girl, get on camera when you feel to and do this. And that's what I have to thank all these programs. I just watched this show and basically it was, I think it's called like Hot House. Anyway, it's about all these social media influencers sharing the same mansion. And what was great about it is that you're really trying to encourage people, encourage each other to do stuff outside their comfort zone. And they have support doing it, so it's easier. I don't have anybody other than my husband being like, oh, that was great, love. And I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying I moved from New York, where I was mostly known, to a city. Yes, I know people, but I don't have them in my house personally cheerleading me. Like, that's not necessary. But it's to say, I could always make somebody annoyed, and that's not my goal. Like, somebody will write me, oh, you know, don't talk about this, don't talk. I don't think about what might offend if I'm not coming from an offensive standpoint. But I also have to remember that people are affected by a lot. Like, if I use certain terminology, it can come off real, you know, harsh or like ignorant. But I've empowered myself to not have any language, any vocabulary word in the English language really offend me. But do other people know that? No. And are you gonna still look a little weird if you're saying stuff? You might. But this whole process, the last 8 to 10 years, I used to do so much in front of the camera, and I wasn't making no money, nor did I have anything to show for it. So I wanted to take a step back and have something to show for it. It's easier for me in my mind 10 years ago to make products than it was to make vegan muffins, because I didn't want to see myself always in the kitchen cooking, because I cook to eat. I don't like doing things that are like my passion and kind of bleed them out, and then I can't find the joy in it anymore. So all it is to say is I'm sorry if I've ever offended somebody by saying something that was a little too obtruse or too I'm from Brooklyn. It's not an excuse. It's to say we're very colorful people. Not until I'm around other women from New York, the Bronx, Harlem, then I'm like, yes, Bronx, we can be loud, and we don't think we're doing all of that. We just expressing ourselves. And that's why you got to know your tribe. I say I can get along with everybody. I could turn down the volume, all of it. But sometimes I don't want to have to turn down. I would love to be my turned up self just for like a month straight with other people around not telling me, oh, you're doing too much. Oh, turn down. No, I need all them people in the house turned up, okay? I'm straight up to say there's just one transgender character on there. He's fabulous, okay? She's fabulous. A company called Dragon Beauty. I loved watching her because she gave me so much confidence. Like, shorty, you're not wearing your heels. If these transgender women can wear shorts, dresses, and heels with more confidence than you as a cis woman, learn from them. It just gave me a confidence. Like, yo, I be turning myself down too much to try not to make people feel, honey, at 44 years old, maybe that's what you need to stop doing. Maybe you need to just turn up, be turned up every day, and see where that takes you. So during this retrograde, I'm determined to do things a little bit differently, get out of my own head and comfort zone of thinking that I'm always offending someone because I come from what people like to consider the head wrap conscious community. No, I come from Brooklyn, New York, and I happen to be around a lot of people that were doing things like that. But when I peep certain elders not happy because they're in a uniform or they have to, like, you know, sell an idea, but they're not living that, that's why I expressed, if you feel to eat crab legs once a month. If that can keep you from being a nasty person, do that. I'd much rather someone with fish in their system that's happy than someone that's a total vegan that's just miserable and not. So again, CordobaOrganics.com. I'm gonna get these in envelopes because it's not fair to have anybody wait more than 3 days for their stuff, and it's actually day 2. So these were from the 12th and 13th. Today is the 14th. See, I hate when stuff fall. 12th, 13th, today's the 14th, so that's 3 days. I'm gonna get these all out, and I'm gonna try to do another one of these, connect with you guys, and do more lives so that maybe my son or somebody can sit there and read the questions of what y'all have, you know, what you guys would like to have addressed. And we could do it like that. Gold teeth back in, and this is what I mean. Girl, you don't wear your fronts. I've done so much to just like keep myself quiet in hopes to not offend or not to be too much. And so that's why I want to thank the people at the Hut House and to thank Miss Dragon Beauty for just being ultra fabulous and for reminding me, sis, this was how you used to be. And because so many people were offended and, oh, she doing too much, turn down. And she didn't, no, turn up, turn the love, turn the volume, turn the flyness, turn it up. And that is where I'm at this month. So shout outs to everybody that's encouraged. CordobaOrganics.com. Be your best self. Oh, and also be aware of products that state that they have crushed crystals in them. You cannot rub amethyst crystals into your skin. You will be sick, and not all crystals are to be infused like in oils or liquids. Some of them can become very toxic. And when I say toxic, I mean toxic by changing the toxicity, the pH levels of your products. So you do not want to use rose quartz flower. It's not real. Amethyst flower. It's not real. Lapis lazuli crystal. It's not real. They're all marketing schemes, and I'm not here to deter and like shut it down. But people are getting sick when people write me like, "Oh, I have a horrible breakout. I use so and so." It's like, first of all, there is no amethyst flower, okay? I don't know what company is convincing people that there's amethyst, ground amethyst. It's not true. It's not to deter, it's just to really try to get y'all to not break out and have mad other issues because you're trusting, which you should, what it says on ingredient labels. But not all ingredient labels and companies are coming from a completely transparent point of view. So again, thank you to those companies that are honest, and for those that are coming into this, please, just a little honesty goes a long way. That's all. Love you guys. CordobaOrganics.com. Peace out.